What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a whole new video where I'm going to discuss something kind of crazy. A lot of you guys have mentioned that, ICT in general, sometimes his risk reward isn't the greatest, I'll be honest, especially coming from a smart money concepts background. We're used to getting, like 1 to 10s, 1 to 5s, 1 to 10s. And so there is a way to use ICT's concepts and stuff that he actually teaches. He teaches us in his 2022 mentorship as well. How to get a slightly more sniper entry, which really helps a lot. Like when I saw this, it kind of blew my mind a little. And it's the most simple thing ever as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to trade with a slightly more sniper entry and get ICT's entries with a better risk reward. Okay. So this is something that I do in a lot of cases. I don't do it in every single case. And what you'll see when you go and backtest this, if you decide to actually go and backtest this, which I recommend before saying anything about this, make sure you go and backtest it. And also don't just blindly trade it. Okay. Don't take my word for it. Go and backtest it. It does work. But one caveat to this is that you won't get tagged into trades as often, okay? Because the stop loss is much tighter, you're going to get missed more often than if you just entered off the fair value gap. However, this does give you a nice confluence and sort of upgrades the win rate a little bit more because you can confluence the zones that I'm going to show you with your fair value gaps, and you can also get a higher risk reward. But like I said, the downside to this is you get tagged in less often because sometimes the zones that we're going to mark out now are below the fair value gap where we would usually enter. However, the risk reward is absolutely insane. Also, it gives you a much more mechanical way of entering, okay, because the rules to entry are very mechanical, whereas with fair value gaps, sometimes there are fair value gaps sitting above and sometimes below, and so with that there's a bit of discretion as to which one to decide to use. So this makes it a lot more simple. So I suggest that you guys strap in, get ready to watch this video because it is a doozy of a video. Just before we hop in, I would just like you guys to hop down below and click on the subscribe button. It really helps my channel and I really appreciate it a lot. So a lot of people ask me, what is my favorite prop firm to trade with? And it's pretty easy. It's Blue Guardian. Blue Guardian has the best trading conditions of any prop firm I've traded with. It also has a built-in equity protector to stop you from getting stopped out on your daily loss limit. So guys, if you're looking to get an evaluation with Blue Guardian, I suggest that you use the link below and use the code GARTRADES for 10% off your purchase. Let's hop into the video. Right, so with the normal ICT strategy that I teach on this channel, obviously links will be down below to watch the original strategy videos, but it's very simple. We're just looking for the lowest point in this gray box, which is the Asia and London sessions, okay? And now we're going to be looking for a violation of the lowest part in this gray box, which would be right here, as you can see if I zoom out. So we would then look for a sweep, okay? Once price sweeps, we're then looking for the change of character, which is a fractal change of character. And if we follow price back, we can see that that already happened right here, okay? Why? Because this candle did not break this candle's low. Okay, so if we look at the lowest point, this candle broke this candle's low, this candle did not break this candle's low, and so this here would be a fractal high, and once that high is broken, which it is right here, we can then start to look at an entry. Now this entry method is sort of my adapted version of ICT's optimal trade entry, or OTE. So you take your fib and you draw it out, and I have modified mine like so. Okay, I've ticked everything off. All you need is the 0.786, okay, and the 1 and the 0. And you can make it whatever colors you want. Now, this is what I do. I draw it from the part. So this is where, obviously, we changed character here, okay, and we draw it to the top of the move. Now, obviously, the move has continued more, okay. So we continue to follow price along. And we're simply going to wait for price to come into this area where our entry is and continue forward. Okay, so my limit is set at this line, okay, just for reference. So let's see what happens with this. It continues to go, All right. Continues to go. We just keep following it up. We're waiting for the pullback. The pullback's starting to happen. Okay, price is coming down. We're about to hit our entry here. My entry is here, just for reference. Okay, we tapped into the entry. It reacts, and we get a bit of a move. Now, at this point, you could choose to go break even. It's up to you. I personally don't, okay? And price hits our stop loss, okay? So we would take a loss on this trade. So this is a losing trade, okay? However, once price comes below and sweeps the lows once again, we are now valid to look for another entry, right? So it swept the lows. Now we're looking for the fractal high for the change of character. Now you can see this candle did not take this previous candle's low, okay? So we're waiting for this candle to come below, and it does. This candle, let's see, in the top left corner here, you can see the low. So the L there where the low is 8801, and this is 8801, so they're the same. So this candle here would be the candle that where the low is higher than the previous candle's low. So you can see here. And so this would now be the high. If you guys are struggling with this fractal structure, there is a video in the description below on how to read fractal structure. Okay, it does take a bit of practice, but it is a fully mechanical way. It's not just guessing. Okay, so this has taken the lows now, and then we look back. This candle is the exact same size, so we don't count that. And this candle here is higher. The low is higher than this candle's low. Okay, which makes this the fractal high. Once price takes this high, there we go. We could now look for potential entries, but there needs to obviously be a bit more of a push. So we get our push, okay, and now we can start to draw our Fibonacci, which is going to give us our optimal trade entry. Now, traditionally, what we would do is enter off of this fair value gap, which, as you can see, would give us a much fatter stop loss, which is not good for risk reward. We would then be looking at like a 1.5, whereas right now, we're literally cutting it down to, you're going to get a 3.4 risk reward, okay, maybe even more. 3.7, okay, that is like a lot better. That's more than double, and it's continuing up. Okay, so we can follow this up now. I'm not going to continue to draw this tool. We're just going to look at the Fibonacci because it will show us this is always where our entry is when I draw it, okay? And there you go, straight away, straight into the area and straight up. So we took a loss at first, and we made up for it very quickly with a 3.78 risk reward, okay? 3.78 risk reward straight away on this trade. So this one is a winner. Let's have a look at another example. Right, so here is the next example. So if we zoom out, we can see the lowest part in this gray box. Again, this gray box, I've got a full video on how to trade it. The link is in the description. But my settings for the gray box is simply this, okay, and this. And you can turn off Tokyo and Sydney, just have London and New York, and London and New York is set to these times. So take a screenshot of this and then, or pause the video here and put these into your sessions indicator. It's again, the sessions indicator is right here. It's sessions by Oro Rocks, okay? Sessions on chart by Oro Rocks. Right, so we look for the lowest point in the gray box, which is right here. Okay, and in the blue box, we look for price to go past it. Price has gone past it here. So now we would look for a change of character. And straight away, we can see change of character has already happened. Okay, why? So this is the furthest point, the most extreme point, okay, where price has gone past. And you can see this candle has not gone past this candle's low. It's actually above. So once this candle goes below the low, we can now confirm that this is the fractal high. And the fractal high has now been taken out. So we've had a change of character. It's what's called a fractal change of character. And again, there's a video in the description that shows you how to spot these. I know it is quite tricky. I try and explain it the best I can, but it is fully mechanical. And once you practice it, you will understand. So we would now start looking immediately for our OTE entry, or at least the OTE entry that I use. And then we're waiting. So my limit order would be right here, okay? And we go right in quite aggressively. I mean, a lot of us would be a little scared at this point. And there you go. We straight away took our take profit. And let's measure. I think it should also be a similar risk reward to the previous trade. 3.3 risk reward. So that is a winning trade. So let's have a look at the next example. One final example. All right. Right. So here is the last example I'm going to show you guys. Make sure to go and backtest this as well, because it does work. And you'll be able to see that the risk reward on your trades are going to increase a whole lot. All right. So right here, we've got again an example of, in this gray box, we're looking at the lowest point, which of course would be right here. Price has taken out the low point, and we're now looking for our change of character. Now, if we follow the most extreme part, we can see all of these candles break each other's lows. So this candle, the low is broken by this candle, this candle's low is broken by this candle. So the only candle that does not is this candle right here, okay? And we can't draw the high here, so it automatically goes to here, okay? So just to clarify, this cannot be a high. So this would technically be where our last candle did not break the last candle's low, but it obviously gets moved to the next highest part. Okay, so we would need price to break that to have a change of character. You can now see how this can potentially save you from having false entries, because right now a few people would have entered here, and a lot of the time they get burnt for this. So price is continuing. We still have no entry, and now price has gone lower. So what did I do? Same as previously, price has now taken out more lows. So again, we are now valid to look for long entries once we have our change of character. Now, our next zone, if we follow from where price is, this candle's low is taken out by this candle, this candle's low is taken out by this candle, this candle's low is taken out by this candle. This candle has not taken out this candle's low, okay? So that would be where our fractal high is. Now this candle here has not taken out this candle's low, but the lows have not yet been swept. And now they have been, okay? This candle has taken out this low, right? So as you can see, this candle's low is not lower than this low. So we would then wait for the lows to be taken out, which would actually be right here. So once this is taken out, which I believe it has been, so if you are unsure, you just hover your mouse over and it will show up here. So under the L, so this one is 07628 and this one is 07661. So yeah, 628. Let me just double check. 628 and 661. So this one is definitely lower. So that would mean that our fractal high is confirmed, right? So here we can see that this is the last no, I'm wrong. This is the last candle here that did not break this candle's low. So here, there's a bit of a tricky example, but always start at where the price has broken the previous lows, which is right here, and we go back, okay? So this candle broke this candle's low, and this candle did not break this candle's low, okay? Once these lows are taken out here, we can then confirm this as the fractal high. So this would be our fractal change of character once price goes past this area. We now got that. So now we would start to draw our OTE on, okay? And now we would simply wait for price to come back. Okay, again, my limit entry is at this zone right here. Okay, price is continuing further, and we just follow price. My limit order is still right here at this blue line at the beginning of the gray box. We now continue to follow price. We now continue. And there you go. See how price is literally magnetized to this area. It's actually pretty insane. Okay, so right now, literally it magnetized and bounced off. So if we measure this, should also be in that 3.3-ish kind of area. It is 3.8 risk reward. Okay, let's just make sure it's right. 3.5 risk reward. Okay, so this is how to use my version of the optimal trade entry before you guys crucify me. This is my way of using the optimal trade entry to get a higher risk reward, make your entries mechanical, and throw away any kind of discretion that you might be using in your trades. However, guys, remember there's a caveat to this, is that you won't get tapped into as many trades as you would have been before if you used fair value gaps, but your risk reward is so much better, and so that's where it becomes worth it. So give it a shot, go and backtest it always before you trade it, and always trade on a demo before you take anything live. Again, this is not investment advice. Right, so to everybody who watched this video, thank you so much for getting this far. Again, if you're looking to get funded, getting funded with Blue Guardian is my recommendation for prop firms. The link is down below for 10% off. And again, if you enjoyed this video, please do subscribe and let me know what you thought about it. Cheers, everyone.